So for me, it's just a matter of getting back on that line like I've never won anything a day in my life and going out there and trying to be the best that I can be.
That she does, for sure. Whether she is at her best or battling an injury, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone steps on the track with one intent: to win. She won in Paris, and she is expected to win at the Diamond League final in Brussels. Or will she? As most of you would remember, her attendance at the event caused quite a stir a few days back. Early this month, the Olympic 400-meter hurdles champion and world record holder received an invitation to run in the flat distances in her only post-games races of the year. The American was invited to compete in a flat double at the season-ending Diamond League final, the Memorial Van Damme in Brussels. Despite not having run in a Diamond League meet this year, organizers have extended wild-card invitations to McLaughlin-Levrone to compete. However, Sydney's inclusion has elicited mixed reactions, with a section of fans not impressed that rules were bent to have her at the final at the expense of other athletes who have been competing in the Diamond League. Critics were quick to point out that wild-card recipients must have met certain conditions. After all, the Diamond League final is supposed to be the end-of-season championship for the athletes who accumulated the most points during the regular season, much like how the FedEx Cup playoffs on the PGA Tour are for the players who accumulated the most points during golf's regular season. You get where the disapproval comes from, right? Despite not having run in a Diamond League meet this year, organizers have extended wildcard invitations to McLaughlin-Levrone to compete in Brussels. But Rule 4.5 of the Diamond League meeting's regulations specifically states that to be eligible for a wildcard, an athlete must have competed in a regular season Diamond League meet. And, as already mentioned, Sydney did not. Shortly after the announcement of her participation, though, and the succeeding criticism, it was announced that the Olympics 400-meter champion would not compete at the Diamond League final after organizers yielded to pressure from fans and observers who questioned her inclusion. A day after Brussels Diamond League organizers announced Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone would be racing the 400-meter and 200-meter. At this year's Diamond League final, Diamond League Athletics CEO Peter Stastny announced that Sydney is ineligible to compete in the Diamond League final events. Reportedly, multiple sources said during a technical meeting for the Zurich Diamond League, Stastny explained that McLaughlin-Levrone has yet to compete in a Diamond League meet this season and is therefore ineligible for the final. It is not about allowing a specific athlete to compete or not, Stastny wrote in a reply to LetsRun.com. It is about rules and criteria which must be fulfilled by all to becoming eligible to compete at the WDL final. Ms. McLaughlin-Levrone does not fulfill those criteria, either by accumulating enough points or receiving a wild card. He reiterated that the final leg of the Diamond League is not an invitational meeting, and any athlete proposed for a global wild card must have competed at least in one of the events during this season. To qualify for the Diamond League final, athletes accrued points from the 14 Diamond League regular season meets from April to September. Across the 32 track and field events, the top 6 in the field events, the top 8 for 100-meter through 800-meter on the track, and the top 10 for distances 1,500-meter and longer, qualified for the Diamond League final. To qualify for the Diamond League final in the 200-meter and 400-meter, athletes must place in the top 8 of the season qualification standings. While global wildcards can be issued, it is only if athletes compete in and register a result at least one meet during the season, and are ranked highly enough on the World Athletics rankings, or are a reigning Olympic, World, or Diamond League champion in the event. McLaughlin-Levrone, however, does not often compete on the Diamond League circuit, and has not done so regularly since 2018. Her last appearance on the series was at the 2023 Meeting de Paris in June of last year. That means the 25-year-old does not have any points from this season's qualification meets, nor does she have the required appearance to qualify for the wild card invitation. Nevertheless, McLaughlin-Levrone can still compete in the meet, but would have to run in events not classified as a Diamond League event. In an Instagram post, Allianz Memorial Van Damme confirmed that Sydney will be competing at the event, but not as part of the Wanda Diamond League final races. The post read, "To honor Sydney's remarkable achievements, including her unforgettable 400-meter hurdles, world record in Paris, we've added 2 special races. On that note, the reigning Olympic 400-meter hurdles champion is ready to electrify the Allianz Memorial Van Damme crowd in Brussels, where she is set to compete in both the 200-meter and 400-meter exhibition races, with her sights firmly set on smashing personal bests." As mentioned, these 2 races are not part of the Diamond League program and were specially added to honor Sydney's remarkable achievements. With the platform now set, the 4-time Olympic champion is focused on making her mark across the 200-meter and 400-meter flat distances. Some say that the 400-meter will be McLaughlin-Levrone's biggest test, as she faces fierce competition from Olympic medalists Stacey Ann Williams and Stephanie Ann McPherson. New York City Grand Prix in June. Meanwhile, the 200-meter exhibition promises an equally tough field, with Tassa Gia, Gina Bass, and Boglarka Takac all in the mix. McLaughlin-Levrone is chasing her season best of 22.07 seconds, set at the USATF Los Angeles Grand Prix. "I am really looking forward to giving my best here and end my season in style. And of course, I've also heard about Belgian delicacies like waffles and chocolate. I definitely want to taste those, but I am going to wait with that until after my races," McLaughlin-Levrone shared ahead of the event. And while she won't be racing in the official Diamond League program, fans will still be in for a show as they'll witness the world 400-meter hurdles record holder and multiple Olympic champion attempt to beat the US record of 48.70 in the 400-meter, set by Sanya Richards-Ross in 2006. "My goal is to improve my personal records," Sydney admitted. "I started my season this spring in the 200-meter and 400-meter, and now I would like to finish with them as well, assess where I stand at those distances now, after having focused a whole year on the 400-meter hurdles." She also explained that her season always revolves around the major championships, and that she and her coach Bobby Kersey put together her program based on those. "Additionally, I already have to be in top form at the US trials to be allowed to go to the Olympics at all. So attending meetings in Europe in between is not obvious. Transcontinental trips are quite tiring," she added. As the season winds down, McLaughlin-Levrone is already setting her sights on 2025, with the World Championships in Tokyo being the main focus for athletes around the globe. The Diamond League final will also bear witness to yet another face-off in the women's 100-meter. In fact, one of the highlights of the Brussels meet would probably be a new chapter in the budding rivalry between Olympic champion Julian Alfred and world champion Sha'Carri Richardson. Alfred, the 100-meter Olympic gold medalist and 200-meter silver medalist, has 1 Diamond League victory under her belt in 2024, a 10.85 victory in Monaco in mid-July. In Zurich, though, Richardson eased past Alfred to win in 10.84 seconds. Obviously, there's a lot to look forward to in the event. Make sure to watch this to see what other athletes have been up to so far.